Who's this lovely woman with me this morning? This is absolutely amazing already. Okay. Hi, I'm Robert Lunte from CourseCREEK Consulting, and this is our streamcast show where we talk to industry influencers in the online course e-learning, learning and development business, and to real course creators, people that have actually done the heavy lifting, the planning, the creating, the implementing, and the marketing of their online courses. And today, I'm really super excited to introduce you to not only a client of CourseCREEK, but my lovely friend, Claire Gengading, who is the founder of RiderSize, and it's a fascinating business model. And she comes from the beautiful township, the village of Shropshire, UK. Okay, so she has a really cool accent. So, and by the way, as we go, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask questions down below in the question space there. And let me just set that up. I have to click a few things here. Public, boom. I'm gonna put a link in here for the Facebook folks. All right, so feel free to, I'm just typing this in, feel free to ask questions. We're also broadcasting live at CourseCREEK at YouTube as well. Okay, enough of that. Claire.
Hey.
Good evening. You're looking great, and like I always say, like I said when we were working with you, that the star of the show is right behind you, right? A little bit of a tip, a little bit of a hint on what we're going to talk about today. You see that? There
they are.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see the fourth one, but there are four.
That's right. So we worked with Claire for several months at CourseCREEK last year, and Claire has a fascinating business model, and Claire helps people, sort of like a health and fitness course and training for people that ride horses. Right, Claire?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay. Tell us briefly, if you would, about yourself, your training, and students, and what they sort of gain and learn from your school in RiderSize. What's it like? What's it about? It's very interesting.
Okay, so RiderSize, or more so now, thanks to you guys, RiderSize on Demand provides proven, follow along with rider-specific workout routines that I have developed with a background in fitness for over 15 years and riding experience of over 20, that focus on improving riding ability, it boosts confidence, and it helps reduce the severity of injury that can occur. Through my programs, riders learn to connect with their body, they improve their awareness and gain control so that riding becomes easier. They ache less afterwards, and they feel more confident in the saddle so that they're able to communicate more effectively with their horse and work together as a team.
That's fantastic. So so what when I'm thinking about health and fitness for people that are riding horses, can you share with us just a couple things that would be unique to that? Like, there must be certain movements or certain workouts that we wouldn't see in Pilates or yoga or another venue, I would imagine. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, let's take general fitness. So horse riders, we're typically busy people. We spend our lives waiting on our horses, hand and hoof, and we run around tending to their every need. And we're generally active. So more often than not, we don't have time to exercise. So people under the belief that because they're active, that makes them fit to ride. But general fitness, such as being generally active or going to the gym or lifting weights and running miles, improves your general fitness, but it doesn't necessarily transfer benefit to your riding. And the reason is, as riders, we need to be neutrally balanced in the saddle, and we need to be aware of what our body is doing and be able to control it to such precise detail that it almost looks effortless, like you're not moving, because horses feel absolutely everything when you're in the saddle. So you can't just be throwing your arms and legs around. It has to be smooth, it has to be controlled, and you often have to utilize many muscles at the same time. And that requires a specific skill. It's not a skill that you can learn from pushing a wheelbarrow. It's not a skill that you will learn from running. And it's certainly not a skill from, lifting weights. Yes, yoga and Pilates are certainly beneficial. However, most yoga and Pilates is done on mats. And when we ride, we sit in the saddle. We don't lay on our backs and use equipment to pull our bodies, our legs and our arms around. We have to work against gravity, sitting, and have the mobility which requires strength to move your body, rather than flexibility, which means have your body move. So whilst, yes, yoga and Pilates can be hugely beneficial, you have to think whether it's transferable because it mimics riding or not. So the programs that I have developed use particular chosen exercises which use the same muscles, and it works the muscles within the full range of motion and within similar movement patterns. So it has been designed to be as close to riding as possible.
Yeah, that's just absolutely fascinating. And I presume that the if you had a horse, and by the way, we don't call them pets. They're not really pets, are they? We wouldn't call it a pet, like, or would you? Would you really call a horse a pet if you were a horse owner?
I can't speak for everyone, obviously, but my horses are my family. They are my kids. I don't have kids, not having kids, but they are my kids.
Indeed.
They're treated like family rather than pets.
Right. And horses can be temperamental, right? They have personality like any other sentient being. They can be temperamental, and true, fair. I mean, they're not.
They're an independent, ballistic, dynamic animal, and they're flight animals. At the end of the day, they have the ability and the power and the strength to do what they want, and you have to learn to work with that animal. It is one of the most dangerous sports in the world, irrelevant of the level and the discipline, because you are entrusting your life on that being. No other sport depends on another being, which is as independent as an animal.
I have a horse story. When we were working together, I didn't get a chance to share it with you, I don't think. I'm going to make it very quick because this is about you, but I have a cool horse story. You might have a comment on it. My family and I, we lived in Idaho. We had horses, all right? Betsy and Ginger. Betsy and Ginger. And I was a kid, and I was going out to feed carrots to Ginger, right? And I got behind Ginger, and I think Ginger was sick and tired of eating carrots, and she kicked me. And she kicked me right here. And it was a very surgical, like it was a good kick. She hit me right here in the sternum. And it lifted me up, and I flew about 9 feet back and landed on my ass. And I thought to myself, that is the last time I get behind a horse, with not knowing what I was doing. And looking back these days, I sort of feel like if Betsy wanted to kick me in the face or kick me in the head, she could have. Oh, but yeah. I feel like she may have known that I was a kid and just like, dude, I don't want to deal with it right now. Back off. I'm not in a mood for it. Is that, can a horse strategically, can a horse make a decision like that, do you think, in terms of, I want this person to go away, I'm going to do something about it, but I don't want to injure this person because they're a child?
I think, yeah, there's margin for error. We all get things wrong. But yes, ultimately, I think if a horse wanted to hurt you, they would hurt you. But they are such gentle, giving and forgiving animals. They really are. I mean, you only have to experience, say you're walking to the field and all of a sudden something takes their fright and they're off. I've seen horses run through 5-bar metal gates. I've seen them run through wooden gates, and the wooden gates have snapped, and the 5-bar metal gate is completely dented. And it just shows you how much power and strength they have. But yet we could be walking, we turn around and go, no. And they stand and they wait and they're gentle and they're kind. So yes, horses have the ability to do what they want.
Apart from the fact that they're absolutely gorgeous, I must say, they're some of the most beautiful animals on the planet. So, okay, well, all right, well, let's. So you made a training course for horse riders. It's fantastic. I'm going to try to share the screen and just let people see the website that we built for you, and it sits on Uscreen, which is a really unique, interesting platform for trainers. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully it'll work. Yeah. Okay. Go. All right. We're just going to do it sort of a less elegant way, but I hope you guys can see this. If you can't, you can run out to ridersizeondemand.uscreen.io. ridersizeondemand.uscreen.io. I'm just scrolling through this quickly, and it is really gorgeous. And like I said, the star of the show really makes your site light up. I see. I have a button I need to show in the stream. Let me try that again, folks. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. All right. Now I think you can see it. Yeah, can you see it now? You can't. Okay. Here is Claire's beautiful Uscreen website, ridersizeondemand.uscreen.io. Look at that gorgeous shot. I love that. And being upstaged a little bit. So Claire, what happens? So people go in here and they click on these thumbs here, and there's a couple different programs, a couple different workout sessions or something, right?
Exactly that. They are progressive workout routines. So they follow along with me as if I was on their phone, their tablet, or even on their TV.
I know. And I'm stopping right here on that element. This, folks, this is on a VOD OTT platform. It's sort of a specialized platform that stands for Video on Demand and OTT. People can put training content on these platforms. Sort of the neat thing about this is it sort of allows you to make your own Netflix-like channel, and they're designed to be very optical and very they're great for people that are teaching something that you have to watch. Like you need to view activities such as yoga or working out or health and fitness, and frankly, singing demonstrations would work well on this platform as well. And last but not least, the thing that's really neat about this platform is you can turn it into an app. So I'll just go ahead and close that now. Okay, so you can turn it into an app, meaning people can go to Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, iOS, and Android and access your content through all these devices. And that's cool because that gives you more exposure to a bigger market. What's your plan with the apps, Claire? Are you, because you can sort of like roll into the deployment on the apps on a like one at a time sort of thing. Are you doing any of that yet?
Not yet. So I'm just sort of finalizing my content and I've made some interesting developments, which I will share later on. But at the moment, without a native app, such as Roku or the Apple TV, you can still stream your site to the TV. You just need a HDMI cable. So it's still possible without having the native. And as time goes by and I have more opportunity, I will start to roll out those. And I will choose to roll them out based on the demographics and use. So in the UK, it will be Apple, because there is more users for Apple than there are for Android in the UK. Whereas for the US, it's more Android than Apple. And there is a subscription fee for each native app. So it has to be rolled out appropriately. You can't just go and do, oh, we're going to do all 5, because you've got to keep obviously on top of costs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be a smart way to deploy it. You want to make sure, where the biggest market is per the app. So that's pretty clever. But
and where your target audience is as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who are your current audience? The aspiration for rider size is real worldwide. Yes, I work with riders across the world now, but most of the people that I work with are actually in the UK and the US. So those are my focus for now. I have to deliver to those people. So you have to focus on delivering to your current clients rather than trying to hit every nail.
Mm-hmm. 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 We talked about this briefly before we went live this morning, and I do want to make sure we get a chance to put this in, kind of pivoting back to you and your story and what you're doing. I like to ask guests to share their hero story, so to speak, or their rags to riches story. Something about a point in time in your past where you experienced some adversity and there was a radical shift in mindset and things that might have influenced where you are today with your success, and hoping that you could share a story like that to inspire people.
Okay, well, I'll try my best not to cry, because every time I remember this, it does make me a little bit emotional. So hold on.
You're welcome to cry. You're welcome to cry on the show. Great drama.
So my background is, like I say, I have been in the fitness industry for over 15 years and I've ridden for over 20. And I remember riding ponies when I was a child, being thrown off and just bouncing and getting back on in the saddle without a second thought. Confidence has never been a problem when it came to horses. And because I have worked in the fitness industry for so long, I've always been fit, very, very fit. But I purchased Anik in 2012, who is the horse that you see on my front page of On Demand.
And that's a certain breed?
She's a Friesian. I only have Friesians. I am addicted to buying Friesians, okay, who originate from the Netherlands.
Okay.
And anyway, I bought a back protector, which I've never bought before. And I don't know why. I tried it on my dressage saddle to make sure it didn't clip. And anyone who rides will understand this. And I left the tag on. And Anik was only 5. So she was a baby. And she heard the flap of the tag and she took off. And she bolted around that arena with such power and speed. There was no hope that I would stop her. And I was being thrown around in the saddle like a rag doll. I don't know how I managed to stay on as long as I did. But eventually, through my shifting like a rag doll, my saddle slipped and I came off. And as she went past, she kicked me in the head. She missed my face 5 millimeters. And if it wasn't for the peak on my hat, she would have made contact with my face. And oh my gosh, anyone who's fallen from a horse will understand, but the sheer impact is just phenomenal. And I remember the first thing, as all horse riders do, is they try to get up because we want to get to our horses. We're not even concerned with the fact that we've just fallen. Want to get to our horse, and I could get to my hands and knees and I couldn't breathe. I just couldn't get that breath. And I remember looking up at her and she was so scared, so confused, because she was a baby, but she didn't realize what had happened. And whilst I know rider fitness couldn't have stopped me from falling, I know that I might have had a better chance of stopping her. Or I might not have fallen to that extent. But at that moment, I realized that I had to be better. And that's when I decided that I would do everything that I can to be the rider that she deserves. And even though, like I say, I've always been extremely fit, I knew that fitness was not being transferred to my riding because I had no control over my body while she bolted around that arena. And the one thing I do know is that if I hadn't been as fit as I was, I wouldn't have walked away with nothing but concussion. I had no bruises, no cuts, no sprains, no breaks, because my body was built to deal with a demand of life, of sport, of impact, of injury. My muscles, my ligaments, my tendons were prepared. And that is what saved me, I believe. I know that's what enabled me to get up and walk away the way that I did. So that's how Rider Size came about, really. Through that fall, like I said, I never wanted a rider to feel the way that I did, that I let her down so much. So I went on a journey looking at certain exercises and movement patterns that would be really, really simple and easy for people to do, which didn't demand huge amounts of time, didn't involve huge amounts of money, but was really, really effective. And everyone could benefit. You didn't have to be a certain type of rider. You didn't have to ride at a certain level, or you didn't, everyone could benefit from it. And that's how Rider Size came about. And yeah, running a business, as anyone will know, is tough. And I had a piece of advice from my fiance's dad, actually. And the one thing he said to me was, "This is your life. You must never depend on it, because it will challenge and it could compromise your ethics." And that is a very valuable piece of information, because when you start a business such as Rider Size and you become involved in an industry such as equestrian, which is so cutthroat, you can often be forced into a position where you do things that you don't necessarily agree with for the need to make money.
Is that right?
Yeah. You might work with a rider that you don't necessarily like the way that they ride or the way that they treat horses, because you need to pay bills.
Oh, yeah.
You might join forces with others in the industry in order to pay the bills. And I have always made sure that everything that I do is for Rider Size, and it is for the riders, and it is for the horses. And I have worked super, super hard to be able to fund building Rider Size, so that I am never put in a position where I have to compromise my beliefs, my vision, my ethics to pay the bills.
It's interesting in your when you speak about your rider size. It's interesting to see the passion coming out for what you're doing. Obviously, we see that in course creators. It's something you latch on, and you have sort of a mission that's sort of driven by your passion. And the other thing that is nice to see is you're always very quick to sort of put the horse first. That it's not, as you say, it's not only for the riders, but it's certainly for the horse as well. And I get the feel that you might be a bit of a maverick in the industry. Are you sort of like the kid that rides in the back of the bus in that industry in the UK, or not? Because
I don't know how to answer that really.
I'm not wanting to put you on the spot.
I wouldn't consider myself to be or not to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm everything that I do is about my horses. Everything. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I genuinely love helping people. I really, really do. You know, to see someone like overwhelmed because they've had a light bulb, they've made a connection, they feel confident, they feel like they can now ride their horse, or they can contribute to their partnership, or all these things. You know, giving is so rewarding.
Yeah. And you get emails from people around the world, from clients that tell you how much they are getting and the value that they're getting from your training. You get that?
Yeah,
stuff?
I do. I go and have a little cry. I'm quite an emotional person, really, because it is heartwarming, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's one of the reasons to. Well, it's one of the benefits of doing online courses and producing digital content is you get your ideas and your method and your passion into the video format, and you can just reach so many more people. And since you deployed your Uscreen, have you seen an uptick in business and students do you feel like you're getting more exposure and that the brand is getting out a little bit more with this deployment?
Yes and no. And the reason is many people in business have this misconception that you will build it and they will come. And it doesn't work like that. Mm-mm. You know, yes, I have the platform. Yes, I have the product and the service. But what has become very apparent to me is that not a lot of people know about rider size. So, you know, once you've built it, then you have to showcase it. And it's all about the marketing. And also, you know, something that you've set up for me is funnels. Mm-hmm. You have to give people the opportunity to look into your world, to experience your product, your service without a risk. They have to understand that it is you that can help them. They need to feel like they are spending their money wisely. Mm-hmm. And funnels are a great way of saying, hey, this is what I can do for you. Don't worry. There's no risk. There's no money. Just have a look and let me know how you get on. And once people start to go through your funnel, you have the opportunity to reconnect with them. Hey, how was it? What did you like? How can I help you? You start to build a relationship because people do business with people. Not people don't do business with, you know, an image of facade or a promise. It has to be real. So, yes, If you build it, they will not come. So now I have everything that I want. Now I'm showcasing. Now I'm going out to the world and I'm saying, hey, I can help you. Let me show you how.
Yeah, it's super cool. Super cool. And CourseCREEK, we have our path, and we have a phase 4, which is precisely for that. Marketing, launch campaigns, all that. So after we've built the platform, everything's ready to go, it has to be marketed. And building CourseCREEK, I sort of noticed that too. I had clients that were going through this creative process, implementation process. We had this sort of this client journey, and we got to a point where everything was built and it looked beautiful, but then clients needed traffic. They needed marketing. They needed launch campaigns and things. So we've implemented that. And I understand you've been implementing that too, to some extent. I hope that's going well for you.
Yeah, completely. What you offer, what I offer, isn't everybody's cup of tea. And like I say, having a marketing strategy such as a funnel is essential to generating sales, because you have to give people the opportunity to try it, and you have to be able to build that relationship. So you have to be able to stay in communication with them. So in exchange for their contact details, their email, then they get an opportunity to experience your product. So it's a win-win for both people, both ends. And in my eyes, it is one of the fundamental ways to build a business. Because you can also, with a funnel, because it's on your website, it's on its own page. Many of these funnel platforms have their own page, so you don't even need a website if you don't have one.
Right.
And you can direct your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, or Google Ads to this page. You can get your name out in so many ways, and people just go into this page, they sign up for free content, they get to experience the product, the service, and you get to make a connection to that person.
Sure. The capture, the nurture is critical. Without that, it won't work. The online course business model won't work. It won't work for the students. It won't work for the business owner.
100%. Otherwise, you're relying on cold sales, and cold sales never convert. Well, they rarely convert. I mean, you're looking at someone going to your site, looking and going, yeah, I definitely want to sign up. They're like, well, what if it doesn't work? What if I don't like it? What if it's not for me? What if? And you need to be able to answer those questions, and the funnel is the best way.
When you were working with CourseCREEK, and you went through some learning curves, which was fun to be a part of, when I had the opportunity to coach you.
Yeah. Curve. Yeah.
We're both remembering some things, and I'm sort of proud of the work that we did. What are three things, maybe just simple, practical lessons you learned in regards to, I don't know, storyboards, video production, implementation, as you went through that client journey? What are three good tips that you would give to anybody that is considering on rolling up their sleeves and building an online course? Might be able to save them some time and headache.
No, I don't think I would say three things. For me, it's an easy one, and there's only one, and that would be, don't do it. Because what I do, for example, is not building sites. I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the skill set, and I don't have the experience. And whilst it may look straightforward, it's not. And when I started working with you guys, it was very, very apparent the amount of planning and structure and process that goes into it before we've even signed up for the platform. And if you don't do that, you are setting yourself up to fail. But the hardest thing is knowing where to start. And it, you know, what you guys, CourseCREEK, managed to build for me in a couple of months would have taken me a year, if not longer. And that matters because time is money. And I don't have the time or the money to be attempting to build something I know nothing about, to get to the end of that build and it not function, it not work, because I don't know what I'm doing. I am a great believer in, I do what I do, I love what I do, and I'm great at what I do. And that's it. I don't want to get involved in other aspects of my business because that's not what I do. So it is the main thing for me is 100% work with someone who knows what they're doing and will build it correctly from the beginning, because ultimately in the long run it will save you time and so much money.
Absolutely.
So much money. I mean, imagine not being able to launch for a year, and then when you launch, it all goes wrong.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands you lose from just going through that. It's just not even worth thinking about. So, you know, course production looks simple on paper, but it's not. There's a lot of structure, planning, and process that goes into it. And if you don't have your ducks in a row, you're going to lose your ducks. It is that simple. And it's not something that I ever contemplated on doing, nor would I ever contemplate on doing. If I want another platform, I'll be straight back, because it's not what I do. And so many business owners out there, it's not what you do either, because otherwise you would have done it. If you want a platform, you want it to work, you want it to deliver, you want it to convert, you have to use someone, CourseCREEK, who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. I find that, generally speaking, not everybody, but generally speaking, oftentimes clients, there's this intuitive understanding around the static website, the Wix, the Squarespace, the WordPress website that has about me, my bio, the static stuff. You might sell a widget. There might be, you know, a buy now button somewhere, but that world of, I have a WordPress website and it looks great and it just has static content, versus the dynamic funnel building, inbound marketing, lead magnets, email nurturing sequences, and all this mojo and magic that has to happen to deliver the online course. The funnels that you were talking about, for example, it's actually pretty complex. And when you add to that somebody's got to get on a camera and teach as well, you know, and so you have to learn how to become an actress, and learn how to edit videos and all this other stuff. So I don't want to scare people or anything, but I'm just backing up what you said. It's really quite complex, and it's, you people need help. People need help with that. But
I mean, you know, after my epic fail in hiring a video producer who was not fit for purpose, and in the end cost me money and wasted my time and set us behind by months. She hugely delayed my project. You know, you taught me, you coached me in how to create my own high professional video content. And whilst you guys were busy building my platform, I was busy creating professional content and editing it. But for me, that was so valuable because it gave me freedom over my business. Because each and every time that I want to create content, I no longer have to wait upon someone or spend thousands per content to have it created. i.e. have it recorded, have it edited, all that. I can just do it myself. Oh, I want to do a new program. Bang, done. No problem. Being able to control my content, absolute freedom. That was an invaluable, priceless skill that I developed for you.
You did a great job, and you were. We started with some for viewers. We started with some video content that was produced by someone else, and it was wrong in many ways. It wasn't right, and poor Claire had to, and it was difficult for me to tell you this, but that's my job as a consultant, say you can't use this. You can't use this. So we had to reproduce all the content. But the happy part is Claire hunkered down, you hunkered down, and you took good coaching tips, and now it looks great. It looks great, and that's super cool. Right. The other thing about the videography is you can always fire up your gear as well, and now create free content, freemium content for social media as well. It's not only for the paid content inside the course, is it? It's I want to do something like what we're doing today. I want, when we got ready this morning, it was, grab the cameras that you originally purchased and the gear you originally purchased when we started working together last year. And now you have the ability to create content for any situation. That's nice.
Don't tell everyone. All my riders will be going, I want this, I want that. They'll be working me to their own. It's not that easy, guys.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not easy. It is a lot of work, but it's totally worth it because it's completely, once you get the marketing going, you build this beautiful place to send people, and then that gives them a wonderful transformational experience. But yeah, I mean, back to that last step that you talked about earlier, you do have to drive traffic. You do have to drive traffic too. So once you get that done, then it starts working for you. It's cool.
But another point that I wanted to make with that is I couldn't have created all that content and built a platform.
Oh, you could have. It would have taken you forever, and it would have driven
years. Because building a platform, don't have the knowledge, don't have the skill set or the experience. Yes, I can record videos. Recording and editing videos takes a long time. So being able to multitask that, plus run a business, plus still deliver to your current clients, no. Years. Because running a business, obviously, there's all the admin that goes on day to day, as well as, I have a life. I have family, I have courses. You can't do everything. Do what you do best. Let everybody else do the rest.
So what's the next step for Ridersize in terms of production, and any like that you look forward to that you can share? I don't want you to spoil, like share all your top secrets to your competitors. After coming to the end of this, you may be thinking, gosh, that was, as you say, I've learned a lot. That was fun in some ways. That was definitely productive in every way. What's next? Do you see more courses or expanding in any way?
I want to create some programs, which I have been talking about for a while, which are discipline specific. And I am planning on working with a number of riders who specialize in those disciplines, and doing videos with them, because they are the specialists in that discipline and I am the coach. So that's up and coming, and that's all I'm going to say, in case my competitors are watching, because I know that they do. And that's fine, because at the end of the day, if it improves the awareness that rider fitness is needed, it is essential, it's a necessity, it's not a luxury, then yeah, I'm all up for competitors. I have actually just offered, or just about to go public, all my clients currently know about this, is I now offer support So when people subscribe to Rider Size on Demand, they have an opportunity to sign up for support via a private Facebook group. Because starting something new is daunting. And even though they may know me, they may like my product, my service, and they may trust me, there may be so many questions still unanswered. So for a very small price, they have the opportunity to join this Facebook group and they get direct access to me. And they can ask all the questions that they like. I give them help with their exercise technique. I will watch their videos of them riding to help them figure out what's going on, see if we can fix it. And they have an opportunity to ask me questions, and I go live to answer every single one of those questions. Because I want to show people how simple it can be. And I want to take that journey with them. And at the end of it, the idea is that they have the knowledge, the skills, and the confidence to continue to move forward without me.
That's a common progression for course creators. I've done it in different variations as well with my other business that you know about, and that is to since part of what we're trying to do is get scalability with the online courses, but yet still make yourself available, but to a community is really popular. You got to have community. These platforms can also often offer a nice community. So that's good to hear that you're doing that. I didn't know you're doing that. That's going to be a big hit.
But it's only it's not even public. Well, it is now. It will be public by the end of today. I just wanted to make sure all my existing clients knew first. And I recently, and this is quite important, I recently ran a 5-day challenge, which is free, Get Rider Fit with Rider Size. And in 3 workouts, people started to have those light bulb moments and realized how they move on the ground affected the way that they rode. And it helped me remember why I started Rider Size. Because as you know, in business, you can kind of derail every now and then, and you just need a good slap and you get back on the track. But it helped me remember. And so I do not want rider fitness to be a luxury, like I said. I want it to be a necessity. So what I also decided to do was offer the subscription pricing to everybody at a completely affordable rate. And coming back to something that you said to me a long time ago, it's all about value. I am that value. I can help riders. I help riders every single day across the world. And if people want help, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm willing, and I'm waiting for you. But if they sign up for the platform at the new pricing structure, which offers subscriptions at less than £1 a day, you can't beat that. That's cheaper than a cup of coffee. It's cheaper than a class. It's cheaper than, it's cheaper than going to the gym. It's cheaper, well, it's not cheaper than running, but it's cheaper going to a gym than going to a class, because I really genuinely want to help people. And that's what that challenge did. It helped me remember that it's all about the rider, helping the horse. And if that, in that free 5-day challenge, helping one rider made it everything that I've been through all these years worth it. So with the pricing structure change on the on-demand platform, I hope to reach more riders, because it is affordable, it is accessible, and it is 100% achievable. So that is also public knowledge now.
Your course has a lot of value, and it's really unique, and it's beautifully produced, and it's on the best platform for you. I'm really excited for you. This makes me feel proud as being part of this in some way. We're really proud of the work that you've done, and where else is that?
I couldn't have done it without you.
Well, thank you. I didn't pay her to say that, but that's very, very much appreciated.
He taught me to smile, though. That was a big smile, Claire, in your videos.
So where can people find it? I know we sort of hit on it earlier in our little show here, but for people that are late to coming to the show, and
if they head over to Rider Size, Rider, RIDERCISE.co.uk, they'll be redirected to the on-demand platform. A new website is up and coming. So a new website explaining absolutely everything will be launched in a couple of weeks. But head over there and they'll get redirected to the new platform.
Okay, all right. For your benefit, one more time, what's the URL again?
It's Rider Size, RIDERCISE.co.uk.
Okay, great. And I at the end of these shows, I sort of feel the organic. Sometimes the guest and they say something, and you just know that's the nice place, sort of a nice place to stop. And I think we're almost there. But before I let you go, I want you to look to the camera.
Yeah.
And I'm reading my notes here. Claire, look to the camera and share some sage words of wisdom to our listeners in 2 minutes. A profound lesson or advice you hope they will always remember from viewing this interview today.
Okay, so we ride for the love, we ride for the thrill, and we ride because there's nothing else we would rather do. If you could do anything for your horse, what would it be? If it involved improving the way that you move, felt, and ride, would you do it? Could you do it? Yes, you can. As we get older, we lose confidence and self-belief, but anything is achievable. It doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to mean lifting big weights, spending hours in the gym, or running for miles. I can help you become the rider that you want to be, if you are willing to do that work. It's not about being an elite rider. It's just about being the best rider that you can be for you and for your horse.
That is beautiful. Very cool. Thank you, Claire,
You.
from Rider Size, for your wisdom and your time today. It was really lovely and super interesting and inspiring. And
thank you for building my platform. I couldn't have done it without you, and it looks amazing. It looks amazing.
It does look great. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I love the star of the show, and we love you. So, all righty. All right. So, well, let's call it. Are we good? I think we're good. That was really beautiful, and I know we'll see you again soon. And folks, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for viewing. And again, if you ride horses, contact Claire Gangadine at Rider Size. And I'm Robert from CourseCREEK and CourseCREEK Consulting, CourseCREEK.com. And until next time, thank you for watching.